Daily Wire has another report. James O'Keefe released new video Wednesday from a sting operation in which he talked to a White House official who offered insight into private White House deliberations about myriad issues and concerning President Joe Biden and the 2024 election, including the mental decline of the president and widespread dissatisfaction with Vice President Kamala Harris. The guerrilla journalist said he met with Charlie Krager, a cybersecurity policy analyst and foreign affairs desk officer in the executive office at the White House, earlier this month while undercover. And they were at a restaurant. They were having drinks. And I guess we'll play a little bit. So it's a 13-minute video that he posted of this conversation with this guy. And it looks like it's a date, at least the guy thought that's what it was. And let's play just like the first couple minutes and get some of the highlights here.
I work at the White House.
So you're pretty high up in the government.
Yeah, I'm fairly high up. I'm good at keeping secrets, and so I manage 2 federal agencies, the State Department and USAID.
So when you say it's like security, like you're protecting
the networks of the federal agencies that you give all your information to.
The mission is to protect information.
And we are like the president's voice when we go into meetings in terms of discussing and promoting the president's priorities.
Is he going to be the nominee?
Yes. And she will be the vice president nominee.
Yeah, I don't...
There was a debate about removing her from the ticket, but sadly they didn't. She can't keep black staff. They quit on her in mass.
But with him, I
know.
He's got dementia.
He's definitely slowing down.
But they know that he has those issues.
I think so.
But they're not willing to say it.
Shows it. And
they're not willing to say it
correct.
publicly.
And same thing with Kamala Harris. She's not popular, but you can't remove the first black lady to be vice president from the goddamn presidential ticket. Like, what kind of message are you going to send to, like, all the African-American voters? How would you spin that? People would be like, what the fuck? Like she's a woman and she's multiracial. I think that they're really concerned about this.
But they won't say it. Well, I guess if they say it publicly,
correct.
That Biden is
no.
They can't say it publicly.
No, they got to toe the line.
Do they say it privately? But they won't say it publicly.
Correct.
That Biden they can't say it publicly.
No, they got to toe the line.
Do they say it privately?
I'm just telling you what I've heard. Like,
You're just telling me the truth.
Does it make sense? No, but that's what I've heard. I've had a meeting with Michelle Obama at one point when I was an intern, and someone asked her, will you ever run for office? And she said no, emphatically.
Really?
I've seen all the shit my husband has had to go through, and that does not interest me.
Good at keeping secrets, he says. That's the one. That's his best qualities. They can keep a secret. And then he's blabbing all the secrets to this guy he doesn't know and has never met before. That's how good he is at keeping secrets. First of all, when I heard that James O'Keefe himself went undercover and got this footage, I assumed that he must have had some kind of killer disguise. I was thinking mustache, maybe a fat suit. I was thinking it'd be like Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor. I thought that's what he was going in, fully, full method acting. But instead, he disguised himself as himself. It's just him. Like, that's just, how do you not recognize that that's James O'Keefe? He put on glasses, and that's it. Hiding in plain sight. And it worked, I guess. Maybe the idea is that, like, make yourself obviously James O'Keefe so the other guy sees you and then thinks, well, that obviously can't really be James O'Keefe. Like, it's a reverse psychology. You're so obviously James O'Keefe that the other guy assumes that it's so obvious that you are James O'Keefe that you must not really be James O'Keefe, because if you're really James O'Keefe, you would not be as obvious about being James O'Keefe. Maybe that's the level they're playing on here. That's some real psychological trickery going on. But I still don't understand how does this still work? Like, I know that they're not going to give away their trade secrets, but how do they find these guys that are just willing to spill their guts to somebody they don't know, knowing that James O'Keefe is out there and having seen this exact video a million other times, they still fall? I don't get it. Are you a few years or maybe a few decades out of school and wondering, what the heck did I even learn? What was the point? You might even be thinking, I don't have the time to learn something new. Well, if that's you, you're not alone, and it's not too late. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses. Learn about the works of C.S. Lewis, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, or the history of the ancient Christian church with Hillsdale College's online courses. If you're not sure where to start, check out American Citizenship and Its Decline with Victor Davis Hanson in this 8-lecture course. Victor explores the history of citizenship in the West and the threats it faces today. Threats like the erosion of the middle class, the disappearance of our borders, the growth of an unaccountable deep state, and the rise of globalist organizations. The course is self-paced so that you can start whenever and wherever you want. Start your free course on American Citizenship and Its Decline with Victor Davis Hanson today. Go to hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. There's no cost, and it's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. hillsdale.edu/Walsh. Look, if you're a Democrat operative, not that I'm trying to give you any advice or help you in any way, but if you're a Democrat operative and you're on a first date with someone who is asking way too many questions about your line of work, then you should probably just assume that you're being O'Keefed. Or don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to embarrass yourself, you want to continue embarrassing yourselves, it's great. It's fantastic. But for the record, I'm saying this could be avoided. And actually, if you're anyone and you're talking to anyone else who is asking a million questions like this, you should be suspicious. Not that I'm promoting paranoia. I'm not saying you should be paranoid, but it's like in my entire life, okay, and you could probably think to yourself, it's like the same thing. In my entire life, I've only met maybe one person who in real life will listen intently and ask interesting, penetrating questions and lots of follow-ups so that in a conversation you feel like you're talking to Joe Rogan on a podcast. Like a regular conversation feels like a long-form podcast interview because of all the follow-up questions and they're really interested and they're asking. I've met one person in real life who is like that, and that would be my wife. She's the best listener and asker of questions that I've ever encountered in my life. It's not even close, actually. Maybe my whole marriage has been a James O'Keefe's sting operation. I don't know. But for anyone else, you should be worried because no one else asks. Like in a normal conversation, people are just wrapped up in their own lives. And so in a normal conversation, they ask, well, what do you do for a living? Oh, I do this. Oh, cool. And then they move on. They don't ask anything else about it. But as for what this person actually said, of course, it should be a major scandal. We've got somebody from the White House admitting, among other things, that the president is senile. And we can all see it. Like, we know it. But he's admitting it. And the rest of the stuff about Kamala and how they want to replace her, but they can't because she's a black woman, all that is interesting. All that is newsworthy. But the scandal is the admission by a White House official that the president has dementia. Because remember, that was the question. O'Keefe said, he has dementia. And the guy said, he's slowing down for sure. And the thing is, if the president doesn't have dementia and somebody says, he has dementia, doesn't he? You would say, no, he doesn't. You wouldn't say he's slowing down for sure. It's like if somebody said, he's a murderer, isn't he? You wouldn't respond by saying, well, he's made a lot of mistakes for sure. You would just say, no, he's not a murderer explicitly. It's definitely not the case. So if it needed to be confirmed, we have it confirmed from the White House, from a White House official, unintentionally confirmed, that the president has lost his mind. And everyone knows it. Everyone at the White House knows it. The whole world knows it. And we're going to march on ahead anyway. Because it doesn't matter. It makes no difference, apparently. And instead, what's happened is that the Biden campaign, in order to deal with this problem, that their candidate has lost his mind and is senile, they are projecting, and so they've ramped up their attacks against Trump on the basis of Trump having dementia. So they're now continually tweeting out and posting all these clips of Trump supposedly losing his train of thought and mumbling and all the kinds of things we see from Biden all the time. Now the Biden campaign is putting out all these videos of Trump supposedly doing the same thing. And the thing is, most of those clips are pretty weak. Or they're just flat out lying about what's in them. Or they're taking a clip of Trump just sort of rambling and they're trying to frame it like has dementia. And they want us to forget that, well, that's always been Trump. Like Trump has always been, when Trump was 50 years old, he's always just he's a guy that just rambles off the top of his head. So that's always been him. That's no different. So I don't know if this tactic is going to work on their part, but this is what it's come to. This is where we are now, where we're going to have a presidential campaign between two people accusing each other of being senile. No, you have dementia, not me. Like that's going to be the campaign. That's what we have. That's what 2024 is going to be. Great sign. Great sign for America. That's when you know. That's when you know things are going really well for your country. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.